Hello, my name is John Stewart, and I am making this video for my accumulating activity for my health and fitness course. Today is November 3rd, 2021. I'm going to do this video a bit differently. I'm going to share my story of being obese and type 2 diabetic and some of the health issues that I have had and how it has helped me to come to take my health more seriously. And I'm going to discuss some of the things I'm doing to get my health in control. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in my early 20s, and it has caused a lot of issues. I've gained about 100 pounds due to mental health and addictions. Um, I'm addicted to food. That's some people are addicted to drugs. Um, I'm overcoming a food addiction. Um, I've been trying to lose weight for 4 years. It's been difficult. There's been a lot of roadmaps, a lot of stops and goes. Um, April 1st, 2021, I had a life changing situation happen. I went into URO sepsis. My blood sugars were not controlled, partially due to my fault, actually, a lot due to me. Um, and that caused me to go into URO sepsis, which is a urinary tract infection that is not taken care of. My blood sugars were over 20, which is very critical. Ended up going into the emergency. I was admitted with sepsis and was put in ICU for a week. We didn't know if I was going to make it. There was a 70% chance that I could have died. It was touch and go for the first couple days. In that hospital bed, I finally realized I'm 32 years old. I don't want to die. I really don't want to die. I have a lot to do. I have a lot I want to do. I don't feel I'm ready to go, and I don't like I didn't like my quality of health. Right there and then, I made a decision to myself that I was ready to give this fight for my health 100%. I knew it was going to be hard. As a social worker, I know how hard mental health and addictions is from the academic point of view, as well as working with others, and then myself as a client. So the first step for me was getting my blood sugars under control. So I made sure that I was eating properly, that I started following the diabetic diet, working with the diabetic dietitian, my diabetic doctor, Dr. Varghese, my nurse practitioner, and just kind of getting a plan of action to get those blood sugars and my A1C, which is a overall blood sugar count for 3 months at a time, which tells you how you're doing as a diabetic. At that time, it was 12 when I was in the hospital, which is very high. I was at a very high risk of a heart attack, other organ failures, kidney failure. Um, I made sure I got on proper insulin, long acting insulin, long um, acting Trulicity, a bunch of different medications to adjust my sugars, as well as I started eating properly and counting my carb count so that my sugars didn't go high. At the time, I was almost 400 pounds, so it was very hard for me to start exercising. However, I started walking, I started taking the stairs, I just started doing everything very slowly. I knew that I couldn't get up and start running right away. Um, this is actually really hard for me to talk about. I didn't realize how hard it would be. Um, so going forward, I did that. That was step one of starting to get my health under control. Step two is I finally went and spoke to the gastric bypass surgeon and started looking at alternative ways that I could get medical help with losing weight as well as counseling. So it's been a journey. They've asked that I lose 100 pounds before doing gastric bypass. I'm on my way. It's been touch and go for me with COVID, as well as working through the internal issues that have caused the weight gain and the depression, as well as the diabetes, and making sure that my physical and mental and health is on par. So I've started eating well. I've gotten my blood sugars under control, which is a huge accomplishment. My A1C, I just went for my blood work a couple weeks ago. It's now 6.1, which is perfect. I'm still diabetic, but I think that's a lifelong thing. There's some studies on that you can beat it or put it into remission. I don't know how much I believe, but I'm working on just keeping my blood sugars in a control stable environment, which has done so much for my mental and physical health. My I was able to complete high school. I'm doing my university courses. I'm working part-time again. I haven't worked in 4 years. So this is an accomplishment. I'm finally got my health under control. I'm still obese, but I'm starting to be able to do things that I couldn't do. I was literally on bed rest for a couple of years, and it put my university education on hold. I had to go down to part time. I wasn't getting the best grades that I was capable of getting. And since getting my diabetes under control and taking my medications and watching my diet, I'm finally able to do the things that I've always wanted to do. And this is a huge accomplishment for me in my life. So, in this course, I really started focusing on the physical health, which um, had some learning moments that I can laugh about. But I started doing 10 minutes of walking at a time, and I got myself a Fitbit, which is awesome to track my steps. I got it as a gift for accomplishing my high school. I needed to go out and buy something. Anyways, so I'm trying to get 10,000 steps a day, which has been pretty successful. So I walk 10 minutes, 10-minute intervals 3 times a day, as well as I've started a new plan where I do almost like, because I'm trying to get my cardio a little bit faster because like I just started off walking is where I walk for a few minutes and then I jog for a few minutes and then I walk faster and then I jog and then I do a slow down about 5 minutes. And I've been doing that 3 times a week. So I've instead of doing the 3 10 minutes, which is what I started with, I'm now doing about 30 minutes, 30 or 40 minutes of cardio a day, which has really helped. I've lost 12 pounds in a month and a half. So woohoo, that's exciting. Um, so that's really changed my life. I've also started doing flexibility training as well as like, oh, not muscle training. Yeah, no.